Hello there! It's been a few days since I recorded the video, for which I apologise, and I have to say it is incredibly cold here, to the point where I am now wearing 3 cardigans, a jumper and a vest, and I'm still quite cold. So if I freeze halfway through this video, it's not because the video hasn't buffered correctly, it's because it's so cold I have literally frozen. Have you ever had one of those days where you know you were going to do something and you had a really good idea in your head, but all of a sudden it's gone? I have those days every day, so I generally keep with me a little notepad. I'll smack myself in the face with that. A little notepad. It keeps a lot of little pieces of information in it. All my notes, I jot everything down that I'm going to do it as a to-do list, and I jot down other ideas as well. But annoyingly, I've got all my ideas for what I was going to put in this video in my notepad, but I can't find the page they're on. So today I thought I'd go through a couple of Formspring questions that have been sent and do a kind of quick question and answer session, see how that goes. So here we are, roll VT. I've always wanted to say that. The first question is, if you could have a superpower, what power would it be? Well, for me, it has to be reality warping. Because let's face it, if you've got the choice of what superpower you're going to have, why wouldn't you go for the ultimate jackpot and just be able to do everything? So, I need to go to the moon. I now have the power to go to the moon. Or, that's a long way to walk to get that package from over there. I'll warp reality so that the package is here. Or, I've decided that from today, England has ice cream on all street corners and it's free. And then it's there. Or, in fact, if you don't want to limit it to England, because you don't want to be so nationalistic, you decide that everywhere has ice cream on street corners, there you can do it. So for me, there's no real choice in this. It has to be ultimate power. So the second question I've been asked was, how do I avoid procrastination? As people that have seen all the other projects I'm dealing with will know already, I have a lot of projects going on at the same time. This is all part of my plan for avoiding procrastination, because the way I see it, if I can have lots and lots of different projects going at the same time, I can juggle between them and decide which bit I'm working on here, there and everywhere, and that will help me avoid those times when you just sit there and you don't do anything, because I've always got something to get on with. Even if I decide, actually this bit that I'm doing here, that's really annoying and boring and I really don't want to do it, but I've got this thing over here and I can do that instead. So that's how I do it. I juggle lots of different projects, and therefore I get loads of things done and I stay motivated. So that's worth a try. If you've got lots of different things you can do, and it works best if it's modular. It's not like, right, I'm going to saw half this wood and then I'm going to go and paint the fence. You can't really do that. You've got to see the parts through. But if you've got projects where you can juggle them, juggling them is a great way to keep them all going. Okay. Third question is there any item you've had since childhood that you couldn't possibly be parted with? And I can say for certain, yes. Meet Bunny. Bunny here is my little rabbit. She's a little bit worn out, and this is due to the amount of times I've had to wash her in the 30 years that I've had her. So she looks a bit dark on the screen, a bit mucky, but I can assure you that that's just due to the light, and she's actually quite clean. So here's Bunny. Hello. Hello. I can't do ventriloquism. Bunny at the moment sits on top of my set of artwork from the comics that I've been doing, and she guards them from Occams, and she's that fantastic. Okay. Last but not least is question 4. What 3 things do you think will become obsolete within the next 10 years? And this is an interesting one for me, because when I first answered this, the riots in Egypt and Tunisia hadn't really happened, and as a consequence I thought the internet was nigh on invulnerable, but Egypt took down the internet. It turned out that idiots in the American Senate and possibly the House of Representatives, I'm not entirely sure, but idiots nevertheless, have decided that it might be a good idea to have a kill switch for the internet, which makes me want to reconsider, because I was originally going to say that newspapers, television and non-smart mobile phones would be obsolete within 10 years. But now I'm thinking that actually we need newspapers and televisions as a backup to stop anyone who decides that the internet is going to be turned off so that we can't find out what bad things they're doing. So now I'm at a loss, because let's face it, we can't predict these things, can we? I'm not the kind of person who has a crystal ball, but if I did have reality warping powers, I could make whatever I wanted obsolete. But I probably would actually keep most things, because I'm that kind of person. So I'm really at a loss now as to what might become obsolete. I still think the importance of television newspapers is going to be reduced significantly over the next decade, but I'd rather like to think we have a backup plan in case someone tries to knock down the internet. So I'm going to say, with a glimmer of hope in my heart, that newspapers at least, or television at least, or one of the two, or perhaps even radio, or something like that, will stick around long enough that if someone does decide to try and stifle the news on the internet, so that free speech is quashed, then someone will be able to say, actually, you can't stop us because we've got our backup plan. So that's what I'm hoping for, and we'll see how it happens. If you're looking at this in 10 years' time and laughing and rolling around the floor in mirth, then that's great, extra entertainment for you. But until then, see you around. If you found this interesting and want to send a question of your own, then you can always go to www.formspring.me/ZoeJRobinson, and I'll see you there. But for now, here's my amazing disappearing trick once again.